Okay. Yeah, good morning everyone. This is a video about how like the logic behind Goku slams among the internet. You know, it's pretty funny. How should I put it? Like, let me put an example. Like, this is what I've been seeing like a year ago. A year ago, spectacle observation on TikTok, YouTube, other surfaces of social media. Okay, where they would say Deku slams. Okay, Goku. If you have seen him in the comics, and how Goku can't beat certain other characters. I think most of these are just to piss off Goku's solos type people. But if they're actually taking it seriously, and I've seen lives on other streaming purposes to talk about this certain topic, it's worthless. It is really worthless. Let me remind you. Let me put for example, durability spectacle. Okay, durability matters in tons of fights. And I know there's people like, oh, but we're gonna measure every single one of their feats, and if they even have one feat better than the other, then they win immediately. That system sucks. Okay, by the way, so if you're telling me if this guy has 9 out of 10 feats better than the guy has 10 out of 9 feats, like let's say let's do three, okay, and this guy have two. So let's say this guy who has super speed, super durability, and super strength versus a guy who has let's see here, how should I put it, has better combat, he has better power feats, and he has better endurance. Okay, let's just say endurance, but he doesn't have high speed. He just has high endurance, which endurance is literally a weaker way of saying he just lasts long in a fight. He just can't go down. Not defense. He just lasts as long. Okay, two things he can handle. Two things he can handle. Let me put a highlight on that. You know what I'm saying? Things that he can handle. Okay. Now, this is pretty stupid. I'm just gonna say this right now, but the top guy is definitely winning. Okay, the top guy is definitely freaking winning. Okay, but even though I said this is 3 out of 2, let's say this is spectacle 3 out of 3. Okay, 3 out of 3, but 3 out of 2. Let's say endurance and super strength versus a guy with super speed, better feats, better power feats. You know, powers. Like let's give him the power of like super strength as well, but he has a better power feat than that. And let's say fighting technique. Of course, the guy on top is winning. Okay. Now let's go back to the anime scaling. Okay, back to the video. Um, let's say I've been seeing Deku slams compared to Goku. To this extent, in this certain era of 2023, you can't even. I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom to even hear someone utter those words and think straight. Okay, I can't handle but laugh. Okay, I can't handle but laugh at that scene. Oh, but Deku is strong and he has the all for one power. If you don't know, there's a limit on that power. Okay, that can only last for like what two, like a couple minutes in a fight if he was going all out. Okay, by the way, he gets hurt as he does this. Oh, and I know there's a thing where later through the series he gets used to his power where he can just use it on and he won't get hurt as much because he can now start exerting certain percentages amount of that power in every single punch instead of just going all out and breaking a limb. You know, he's getting used to it. I don't care about that. I really don't. Okay? He gets hurt regardless. That's what matters. Now, let me remind you what Deku can do. If Deku, okay, this is a really power scale distance. This is a long shot, okay? This is Deku versus Goku type, okay? Now, if Deku used all of his power in one shot, okay? If he punches the ground of Earth, he's probably just gonna make a giant crater, okay? Now, versus Goku, which if you don't know, every single day this guy exists. He has to remind himself to not even trip on the ground or he would demolish the Earth by just landing. Okay, I'm just saying, Goku is a literally a god at this point of the series. Okay, you're putting a kid against a god who has techniques, fighting techniques, mastered. He's even above grandmaster level of fighting techniques. He has honed speed. He doesn't even put his power in even into speed. He uses his flight most of the time, because none of his fights usually just are on the ground. As you can see, they're mostly in the sky because it brings up to that extent in the fight. But if it left to the ground, as you can see, most of the fights were in Dragon Ball. And when he was a kid, because they had a certain rule where if they had to stay on the ground, and if they were knocked out the arena, then they officially lost. Well, and they had a small space. Let me put this into perspective. You put a god in a small 12, let's see, a 50-foot by 50-foot space, okay, and it's like putting a nuke in a small vicinity and expecting it to work that way. Okay, it's not. But in this series, they are trying their best to not power scale Goku too much to destroying the ground. Okay, or other characters like Piccolo, Tien, not Chaozu. Chaozu sucked at that part. Okay, he was horrible, especially Krillin. But let's go back to the argument where if Goku, by existing, okay, if he has his strength is to the point at the series. I'm talking about base Goku at this point. If you don't get what I'm saying, base Goku, base. This is literally a way stronger version than Kid. And if Kid Goku, where Kid Goku, by this point of the series, and when he was a kid, was able to move so fast on his feet. This is no power on his feet, by the way. He's not using any of his powers. This is just him moving, by the way, just to show how strong he is. He was able to move so fast that even the wind couldn't see him, okay? He was moving so fast that people of the eye can't see. You can't see that, okay? No one was able to see it, okay? At all. And it's stupid on how people are like, oh, but the Flash is faster than that. I'm like, you can, in every single instance where the Flash is shown, you can see his lightning as he moves. He's not that fast, okay? He's fast, like he can move long distances, yeah, because that's what he can do. But he can't just instantly appear right in front of someone, okay? He's not that fast at all, okay? Let's go back to strength feats, okay? If Goku punched the ground at full force, the Earth and many planets and a galaxy and most of this universe would be demolished by him just punching the ground, destroying Earth and sending a shockwave through our galaxy, destroying multiple planets. If you don't realize, there's an unspoken rule that you can see throughout the series in every single fight later on, where in their fights they get shocked that the Earth they're playing too rough. Because if you don't know, every single character in Dragon Ball has to shoot their power in small segments so the planet doesn't explode. If you don't know, let me tell you how weak Earth is. Okay, it's like a piece of paper compared to Goku, okay, and all the other Dragon Ball characters. He can just blow and the planet is probably gone if he blows hard enough, okay? And it's pretty funny how people are like, but in the anime he's hitting and the Earth is it's making small little craters. Yeah, because he's shooting small segments. He's not even using a full power. He's not even warmed up. He's training and he's not even warmed up and he's doing this. Okay, he's destroying the ground harder. If Deku went on a rampage and started punching the ground, okay, he could only do so much. But if Goku was barely even trying and was punching the ground, okay, the planet will probably die, have the pain tolerance of a child and just cease to exist at that point. Okay, it'll Microsoft reset and shut off and die. Okay, it's horrible, but His strength feats are immaculate and insane. Goku is. Let me pull out another example so everyone in the viewing this is going to stop. It's just making up excuses. Okay, it's pathetic. Okay, now let me tell you this. Let me put Goku in the Tournament of Power example. Okay, if you realize what the Tournament of Power's surface was made out of, was made of the strongest ore in the universe. Let me repeat that. Strongest ore. They gave plot to the surface of the Tournament of Power, and every single one of those combatants, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, don't back me up on that, but most of the Saiyans were destroying that surface like paper mache. They were cutting through it like cheesecake. If I had editing, okay, or if you ever watch this episode of Tournament of Power, at the end, let me show you what they were standing on at the end of it. They had 45 minutes. Imagine going to work and then coming back, and you're standing on like the void of space. Okay, at that point, it's that they were moving so fast and hitting that ground so hard, the ground was gone. They had to put them in a void of time and space, and put them on the strongest ore on the universe, the strongest thing, the most durable thing in the universe. Put everyone on it, and that thing was looking like a pebble at the end of the day. Okay, it was looking like a boulder. It was horrible. Okay, and people were like power scaling other characters, like as if they did something in the anime that could do the same thing as like that. It's remarkable. Now let's go to speed feats. I've been seeing a lot of Wally West versus Goku, and just outscaling him by like speed. If you don't know, let me pull up Wally West. Wally West can move so fast that he can go through time. Okay, Speed Force, and Speed Force is its own thing. If you don't know, the Speed Force only articulates to his power. So if any other anime had that same speed feat, they won't do the same, because the Speed Force is its own plot inside the DC universe. Okay, it's its own thing, its own scientific thing. If you move fast enough with the Flash power, you can go through time. Okay, if you move fast enough. Now, let me put this into perspective. Let me repeat that again. Actually, let me put that again. Not every speedster can do that, even if they had super speed. That's its own thing in DC Universe. Do not copyright that. It will get you sued. Now, in other animes, speed is a great thing, to the point where they have a thing called the flash step, where they can just, for an instance, they dash, they're gone, and they appear. Okay? Now, a lot of animes do this. Now, if we put Wally West, if you don't know how fast he moves, he can move so fast that you can see his lightning trails, okay? Let me repeat that, lightning trails, as he's moving super fast around like 80 city block. But let me remind you, he has to go in between, crevices to not get hit, or as he's moving so fast, for his body to feel the power of how fast he's moving, okay? His mind is calculating everywhere. And then it goes to the point where he's phasing through atoms, okay? Where that's not even needed. He has to build up speed until he can start doing that with the Speed Force, using his own power as a conduit, okay? So he can just run through buildings and his atoms won't just be harmed. He's just moving around. Now, he's so fast that he can just, he's the fastest Flash. Or like, I think it's Wally West, I'm pretty sure, the blue one. Now, let me put in perspective on how fast Goku can move. There's never been the part of the anime where there's been multiple times, but you just have it like, pinpointed them. But let me put an example. Let me go back to my first example, where Kid Goku, okay? This is Kid Goku, barely even a challenge, okay? Moving so fast that you can't see him on screen. No one was able to see him, not even the human eye can see him, okay? Just how fast he was moving. And there was like a split, it was a good minute of, or so, couple seconds of him doing that, okay? And he wasn't even like sweating. Now, let's like age him a couple like 50 or more years, okay, and after time chamber, and still going on, and he's still, training, and he's now at, prime Goku, okay, not even prime, he's still actually an adult, technically, in Saiyan logic, but he's a grandpa on Earth. Now, let me put this into perspective. If I was gonna yoink that thing from Naruto where they could put power at the bottom of their feet, which Goku can do. If you don't know, ki overall evolves all around their body. They could put it anywhere on their body to do certain things. You just usually see the ki spike up around them because it's around them. It's their force. It's their force of energy. You could see it's their own thing. Like, as if in other animes, you know how an anime character would rage and scream, and you could see all their power around them in that one shot. And in Dragon Ball, they learned how to harness that and just put it around them. In certain parts of the anime, the ki, as they have it around them, it can create even a field of spikes or blades where if someone was going to attack them, their limb will get chopped off. It's really crazy in how you could do many things with ki. Now, ki, on the other hand, can be placed at the bottom of their feet. That is a real thing. They can do that, okay? Now, if Goku did that, and he was using his power, let me remind you, Flash has to use his powers to run fast, okay? Let's not do that new Flash movie that's coming out where he's not using his powers because he lost his, and he's just running around the room very freaking stupid. They did my boy dirty, but that's what he looked like if he didn't have his powers running. Okay, Goku, as he's running, he's just base form. He's just going zipping around. Okay, now let me remind you that Kaioken can multiply his power by times 20, as well as he can go Ultra Instinct. Okay. He can't go Ultra Instinct all the time. I know that's an argument where they're like, oh yeah, he can't go Ultra Instinct all the time because the power consumption that he'll be using. Let me remind you that applies to other characters in their argument, like Wally West and other characters like in every other anime, like let's say Deku full power. Okay, of course it isn't gonna last for long. But you're scaling him off of his full potential. You're not scaling him off of how long he's gonna last with it. Okay, if you are, then we can just base him down to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, with times Kaioken times 20. Okay, at this point of the anime, he can use it for hours long ends. It's at this point he can just use it. Okay, but if we were gonna scale him to like Ultra Instinct speed level, if he had that at the bottom of his feet, he would probably just be moving around the universe like crazy. He could probably move through the multiverse if he wanted to, just zipping around as how fast he's moving. Yeah, but he can't move them through the multiverse, since if you don't know, in Dragon Ball, moving to other universes require a certain vehicle, the hexahedron or something like that, where that can, being inside it, you can move through universes due to the fact that your atoms will be split as you're moving through another universe, because you just usually get disintegrated. If you've ever seen Spider-Man or any other like movie or show or anything dealing with moving to multiverses, I don't want to get into that argument where it's like, okay, yeah, but that could actually happen. But Goku would be probably moving so fast that he can just circle around his universe as a warm up. Okay, it's pretty funny how people are like not knowing how fast he can move on foot. Okay, he wouldn't be really flying on this because since he has ki on his feet, it would be technically the same thing as if he was flying, because he's using the ki to fly. He doesn't really need it. He's using it to boost his speed, and like Superman when he like sonic boom through the sky, or like other flying people where they just move really fast in the sky. Goku would use his ki to move really fast. Okay, but since he has ki on his feet, he would be just technically floating in the sky as he's having ki on his feet, and just zipping around the freaking universe running speed. Okay, if he was using his flying, he'd probably be faster, really fast actually, but it will drain more. So that's why I'll say just put it on his feet and he'll just run laps around the universe. Okay, that's his speed feat. If it was ever to be scaled in human history, okay, or even in the show, people may argue about this like, oh, but it's never been recorded. Where's your proof? There doesn't have to be proof to know it. It's like thinking a bullet would hurt you when it's getting shot at you. Okay, it's that simple concept. Okay, it's common. It's you could see it's happening. It's obvious if you look through it thoroughly. Okay, there doesn't have to be a calculation when you know it's gonna happen. But also other anime arguments where they're not depicting durability. Okay, if there has been instances where Goku has been hurt due to small objects, but those, if you don't know, he wasn't really bleeding. Even if he was, it's more like if you get pricked by a needle, okay, and call it a day. It really wasn't even hurting him. There's been moments like, I think there was that one moment where Chi stopped letting him train and he got shot by bullets and he caught all of them still, but he got like little he got a little blood on his hand or something. I don't know. It was like a he got a tad bit hurt. He's like, man, I gotta go back to training. I'm getting a little rusty. Well, if you don't know, that injury wasn't really that fatal. People are treating it like as if it's like he's about to die. If Goku literally just rubbed his hands like this, or like just move it around just to get the thing off, that thing would have been gone, and he would have just not cared about it. He saw it as like a minor spectacle. It was not even that serious, and people were taking it serious. Or like multiple moments where like that one moment when Krillin threw a rock at Goku and it hit him in the face, and he got hurt. He wasn't really hurt. He was shocked. Okay, he was like he's like, what the heck, like it's like when you turn off the lights in the dark and you get scared. Okay, that's what it felt like. Okay, that's not, he really didn't get hurt. He just got shocked. Okay, because he didn't know what, well, he was trying to take a rest, and then his friend chose to throw a rock at his face. Okay, it's like that spike of adrenaline. It wasn't really that much. Now, it seems to me that people just take Goku not as seriously because he's such a, he's an actual good anime character. He's had a whole lot of storyline backing him up, and through these feats he has, people don't take him seriously because these new animes are like, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna start doing the god thing now too to our characters, even though technically they aren't even a freaking god. They're just having a tiny spike of amplified energy. It's a tiny bit. Like Naruto, for example, people are thinking Naruto's a god, even though that's just a scale of his chakra. If his chakra is scaling to a mountain, okay. Oh no, shiver me timbers. Most anime characters can just blow that away off of him. Multiple anime characters have the power to just take off that chakra and just rip it to pieces, or probably even absorb it at that point, or probably shoot it off. Because if it's a power that's one piece of the body, he can shoot it off, but he will have to use a large amount of chakra to regenerate that one limb. It's like using a robot, okay, and then having like nanobots try to repair it. Okay, it's gonna take a while, but if it happens instantly, he's using a large amount of energy just to bring it out. Let me remind you, Naruto is a flabby human. He has no abs, okay? He has no muscle on his body, no durability, realistically. He can get punched by a child and get his wind knocked out of him. He has been in multiple fights where they have been even in his weight class, or other things like fighting Madara hand to hand and getting his butt kicked, or fighting Sasuke hand to hand and still getting his butt kicked. Okay, he has to scale to chakra to win. That is completely funny. Okay, and let me remind you, if there was a bullet and Naruto had to stand still to take it in the chest, take it like a champ, he would die. Okay, because it moves too fast, and it would just kill him. If Goku was standing it like right there regularly and he got shot, he would take it like a champ, and the bullet would probably be scared by even getting hit by Goku. It will crush and it will fall, and it will just it will go away. Okay, it doesn't. It's some anime characters in some manga. I know you have to do this due to the fact it'll make it more entertaining when the anime's characters get hurt, because then you have to bring a problem that it can hurt them. But when someone brings an anime character into an argument thinking that Goku could see light speed, even though technically he can't. I mean, not Goku. I mean Naruto can see light speed, even though he can't. Goku. There's multiple moments where he broke through time. If you don't know, if you haven't seen the recent movie, Broly movie, not the Gohan movie, the Broly movie, by Gogeta and Broly hitting each other's energy blast, their power is so skyrocketing, they broke through the space and time continuum for a split second and had to shoot it back, so they can come back in reality. Okay, it was, if you didn't see that one part, okay, they literally least even explain this. If you get strong enough, you will start tearing through the fabric of the universe, and you wouldn't even know it. That was that part explained in the Broly movie, okay? And that movie's canon, by the way. If you don't know, it is literally canon and is shown through multiple times. That's the real Broly. That's what we're gonna work with for now on, because the old Broly, he ain't just popping, I guess. He ain't good enough because they killed him in that movie. And this one, we at least let him survive, and he has a purpose. He doesn't just hate Kakarot, you know. Like, you know, we need our Saiyans to work together. But let's back to it. Like, don't put a argument from a character with just power, like ability feats. If I see even one, and I mean, if I even see one argument of this random good-looking anime guy with a higher endurance and speed stat than Goku, or even a strength stat than Goku, and combat experience than Goku, I would personally people would personally crucify you from the deep Dragon Ball fan base, due to the fact that you thought this, they're taught, and most anime characters haven't even breached a couple years in their life. Okay, they're probably in their 30s, okay, or something. Okay, they're young. Even if they're old, their combat experience is bare minimum, due to the fact that they usually gain more plots. Okay, if they had more combat experience, they probably show it in the anime, but they would never, because in most animes they just show them shooting beams of light or power, and they call that combat. Like, that's, a child can do that. If God sprinkled a child with, oh yeah, you can just start shooting nukes now at everyone, he can just hold his hand out and just start doing that. That's not combat experience. That's not even combat at all. That's I don't even know what to call it. That's how flabbergasted I am right now. It's stupid. But it's just, I can't take it seriously on this power scaling things when it comes to Goku. Like, I know some people are gonna be in the comments like, oh, average Goku fan, or average, like, you know, they make fun of the fact that I'm defending Goku so much. This is probably gonna be the only time you're ever gonna hear someone else and actually probably agree that this is how strong Goku is. Okay, he's such a good character that people don't take seriously. Okay, like, I know Goku has that tendency to, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start very low and then start fighting to my strongest, because of course most of his opponents, he has to do that due to the fact that, let's see if they can actually survive my base form. If they can, let's just start tearing up, because I don't want to accidentally knock one of their arms off like Omni-Man. Okay, this is how funny Superman's fights are. Okay, he has bare to minimum no combat experience. Okay, if you don't know Superman, bro just punches, and then it lands because he's in close quarters. It's obvious, but you've never, and I mean never, seen Superman. I've never seen Superman. You can shoot it out there. Prove me wrong. It's okay. It doesn't really apply to this argument, but I've never seen Superman combo a character, this killer combo a character, ultra combo, in fact, a character into the ground. If he has, then Please tell me, because there's that like Batman versus Superman argument, like, oh, Superman can actually keep up. There's been if you don't know, Batman has probably the best combat experience out of the whole Justice League, hands down. You can't prove me wrong. Go at it. Go in the comment sections. Prove me wrong. Go at it. Don't even say Wonder Woman. It's horrible. But basically, back to the Goku argument. He's just overpowered. Okay, but people are like, oh, at this point it would be like a gag character like Saitama. Saitama is a gag character. It's like saying, let's say a Goku can win against a cartoon like a Raleigh. There's multiple times in like literal Dragon Ball, like, because they make fun of the fact that people are like bringing up gag characters versus an anime argument that specifically doesn't go even around gag characters, like literally banning gag characters in the argument, because gag characters aren't even supposed to be anime accurate. They're supposed to just be, let's put God on the planet and let him tear it up, and then apparently the Earth regenerates from that collision. Like in that one Dragon Ball episode where Arale punched the Earth and it cracked, and no one realized that the Earth literally exploded, but they just went over the fact because it was just a gag episode. It was stupid, but it was funny. Especially when, you know, she fought the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and he lost. It's a gag fight. They're making fun of the fact that gag characters are just extremely overpowered, okay? But you never bring that up in a fight. You don't do that. You just don't. Ever. And I repeat, ever. It's how you piss off most people, because it's like you're not taking it seriously. Like, if you're trying to bring up anime fight argument, don't bring up a gag character like Saitama or anyone. Like, Saitama is kind of like a gag character. He, one punches almost everything in his show. There's been multiple instances where he's not one punching or not even trying to fight, because he's trying to use his other feats like durability and speed to just get around the problem, like with him and Fubuki, I'm pretty sure, where he would just, I think her name is Fubuki, where the tornado girl, where he grabbed her and just, moved her around the city by using his durability and speed feats to get her out of the vicinity of the city being demolished, okay? Because she was just unrelenting, shooting her power out like crazy, and then getting tired under an hour, okay? It's her powers, or she does not know how to control them. She sucks at controlling them. It sucks. That's why usually she loses morally through the fight. I think what was it? She lost when she fought Genos. No, not Genos. It was Garu. That's what his name was. Garu. When he had the god powers, because she kept shooting them out like crazy. If she stalled, Saitama would have hopped in just in time, and she would have been barely even tired. But no, she had to go all out and then lose, because she drains her power like crazy. But yeah, Saitama, people were like, yeah, Saitama wins. Yeah. He can hit hard. Don't get me wrong, he can hit hard. He's only human after all. He really doesn't have any power feats other than hitting really hard. He can do pretty much, if a advanced human like that had, all of his stats maxed out, probably could do. But like, seeing what he's done is just doesn't make any sense, because people are like, oh yeah, his serious punch like literally dented Jupiter, and Jupiter now has a giant hole in it, and it still exists. It didn't even explode. It just ceases to have a giant hole in it. Not even pushing it out of orbit, by the way. It just took it like a champ. It's funny how they scaled Jupiter more than the fight, after all. And it's just like, it's kind of lame talking about Goku feats. Yeah, I know, but there's this point to be proven is just plain simple. Okay, at this point, Goku has more plot backing him up. Not plot, I mean, feats, storyline, to back him up than most characters in their anime shows, because most anime creators nowadays are just giving them the power of gods by the first episode, or even one simple character like what's his name, Gojo, just a power of a parallel god. Like, it's first episode, not even giving them like they're not even giving them a chance at that point. Like, it's one thing I hate about anime creators nowadays, is that they're giving powers of gods to random things, especially kids. Me seeing kids have powers and them, like, probably even 15-year-olds. Let me remind you, these are kids, by the way. They don't have them. It's like if I was gonna put the Sentinels from X-Men's Days of Futures Past, them from the movie, against kids with mutant powers, okay, from anime series, the Sentinels will probably kill them within seconds. Due to the fact, the reason why I'm using the Sentinels is because they are an adult version of what adult characters would have to go against to win, and maybe, or probably 90% guarantee get killed, okay, with their power feats, by the way. Now, if I was going to put kids with powers of gods in anime, at least give them a storyline like Naruto, to how he gained power over time. You have to slowly cook them. You can't just give them this. You have to slowly cook these kids in anime. So it's like a steak. The longer you cook it, the juicier it becomes. Okay? You got to make sure you give them things human love. Okay? You got to make sure they have a story, because the more story you give them, you're probably going to have people like them, unless you give them the power of a god and make them very, you're sexy, and and then I hate them. And a lot of average anime people just will hate them, because it's just, why? No story much? Oh, later in the plot, the main character starts finding out more about him, but only like a taste. Not even like a full storyline. Not even probably just a flashback, because they had to give him something. That, like, one time or multiple times is not enough. Like, I want a story behind him. Like, more than just one episode. It's stupid. Why? It just doesn't make any sense, you know? So, yeah, this is, okay, I'm just gonna put it out there, and then just end off the episode. But, overall, in conclusion, Goku is a very strong character. He has things that can be proven, can be obviously seen, can obviously be noticed, and if this happens, it probably will happen, because if you start learning more about Ki, and they talk about it in the beginning of the series, way beginning, and you can start seeing what Ki can do, and you can start seeing how much Ki, an amalgamy amount of Ki, Goku has surrounding him, okay, and the amalgamy amount of how Goku is strong, and how much feats he's done and accomplished and things he's achieved in his life overall, you can start seeing where I'm coming from in these hilariously funny anime arguments that I see around the world, of these young anime characters that hasn't even proven to even scale above a universe. Okay, let me tell you, it takes like a power level of 300, I'm pretty sure, or around that, to destroy a planet. Now, Goku's power level is still boundless. He's yet to reach a giant limit cap, or hard cap. He can't go, like a point where he can't go above it. Like, he's boundless. He's still getting stronger. He's getting better every single day. Man's been using, literally, there's a literal arc where Goku and Vegeta had to use a gravity chamber and just be pressing that gravity multiplier button like crazy. Have you ever seen an other anime character do that? Probably not. Actually, never. Because they don't deal with gravity in other animes, huh? They don't. Because, oh no, my character's dealing with Earth gravity. I can't fathom on how weak these new anime characters are. Okay, Earth ain't even that strong. It's a weak planet. It really isn't that durable. Okay, just saying that. In other animes, like I know people get happy like, oh, he's destroying everything around them by sparking his power, or like, oh, the ground is cracking when they're awakening their power. It really doesn't take that much to break the ground. Like in Dragon Ball, they like leave literal freaking craters in the ground by just powering up like a tad bit. Not even to show off. If they're showing off literally the tournament power, they're just shattering the ground, which technically is the hardest universe and the hardest ore in the universe. Yeah. Talking about strength and power scaling. Like, if you ever gonna bring anything in argument, bring their achievements. Don't bring their like power scales up to your opinion. It's pretty stupid. I don't think anything about it. It's just when I see like this one character, like what is his name? What's this? Gojo. His powers are OP. Of course, if he like opens his eyes, like everything, like he creates like a domain where everything stops moving, and he could just kill you, atomize you, or something like that. Most characters in Dragon Ball can just move through that like water. If you don't know, there was literally a dimension. Remember when Goku and if you haven't seen the episode, Goku and Vegeta were literally in Whis' staff in this dimension, and they weren't able to move until they found a way to turn into Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and then flow like water through that dimension and move through like hyper speed, okay? Because that's how focused they were. So if Gojo ever was to activate that, they would probably still move at the same speed they're moving on the planet, probably even faster, okay? I don't even want to see Gojo versus Goku. It's an idiotic thing. He opens his eyes are gone. Goku's dogging on this man, okay? Gojo doesn't even have a good durability overall. He's not no alien. He's only a human. And humans can only take so much. Like, if I could sit you down and let you put you in front of the screen and let you watch Invincible with Omni-Man over and over until you get the point where how weak humans are on their flesh, then don't get me wrong, we can only take a bullet and we're gone, okay? It's beautiful. Now, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end it off. Comment down below on your schemes, whatever. If you like being toxic, go at it. Go down there and just say whatever. I really don't care. I'm probably not gonna read it actually. But I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not even trying to be mean at all. I'm just proving an argument to make you understand that, yeah, this is happening. You can only agree. There's no points in my argument that I've been wrong in or something. I don't know. Go at it. Go ham.